Are motorcycle clubs dying? Are you the cause? Are you the reason they're dying? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 8 of Coffee and Conversations. This is Jerry, and this week we're going to have a little conversation about why motorcycle clubs are dying. So I found an article by Mr. David Peterson at bestrestproducts.com. I'll put the link down below for the article. But it's a really good read on about, I don't know about you, but I love motorcycle clubs. I love the social aspect of motorcycle clubs. I've had some really good times with people I've met in clubs. Part of some of my best friends I met through a club called Two Wheeled Texans in Dallas, which is an internet forum for all of Texas and motorcycle riders and dual sport and cruisers and everybody. But it was a great place to meet people, and I'm riding with some of the same people I met there 15 years ago, so it's fantastic. I've also belonged to the Lone Star BMW Riders, the Lone Star Riders Club. I currently belong to the MSTA Association. So I've got a lot of familiarity with clubs, and I love riding in a motorcycle club. Some of my best friends in my life have come from riding in a motorcycle club. But I have noticed, I'm sure as you guys have, is that there's a decline in the motorcycle clubs. And started thinking about it in this article. I read it, and it kind of reminded me of why some of the things are that why clubs are dying. And so, almost every club in America has a decline in membership. And I think part of it is when I asked in the beginning, are we the reason? I think we are the reason in some of the cases. And I'll kind of explain that a little bit going forward. It's no lie, motorcyclists are getting old, and we're not drawing in new people into the hobby. So we need to find a way to draw new people into the hobby. One of the biggest growing sections of motorcyclists are the female rider. And so we've got to figure out how to get them involved as well, which is awesome because I think that's a segment of motorcyclists that have been kind of ignored over the last few years. So that's really cool to see that happening. But so I started reading this article, and there's a quote in this article from a John Reep, R-I-E-P-E. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, so I apologize if I'm not. But his quote is, "Clubs aren't dying, the members are dying. The average BMW rider is 234 years old. Millennials don't join anything, and club vacancies go unfilled. There is no sense of to hell with this. I may be dead by 2 p.m., so anything goes anymore. The new thought is, I paid to attend this event, so entertain me." And there is some huge truth to this. Is again, hey, we're getting older. Nothing we can do about that. And but how are we going to draw in new riders into the clubs? And also, too many people don't want to participate in the club. They want to be able to pay a few dollars, because none of the clubs I belong to cost a lot of money, so $10, $15 to join. But then I get the feeling that a lot of people want to be catered to and comes from. However, it is pretty prevalent in the clubs that I belong to. So one of the things I want to touch on is, look, how can we make the clubs better? And part of that is everybody's got to participate, right? If you're not participating in helping the club, then you're not, then the club's going to die. And one of the things I'm reading back and forth too. So one of the things I love about motorcycle meetings is when you go to the meeting, you show up, you have dinner, you may have a beer if one beer if you're riding, or if you're not, but you show up, you have some fun with some friends, you have a dinner, and then everybody gets together and they walk outside and they kick tires for the next hour and a half. And when I say kick tires, they get ready for the ride for the next weekend. They just get plans together to ride. It's not a meeting, it's motorcycle enthusiasts having a good time talking about motorcycles. That's really kind of changed now. A lot of clubs want to sit down and they want to have meetings, and they want to have, guest speakers, and they want to have just all these things that, look, they're cool from time to time, but I really think that we're getting away from why people join motorcycle clubs, and that's to ride motorcycles. And so I'm hoping that we're starting to see a swing in things, because I think that whether people want to admit it or not, social media, Facebook, Instagram, they're kind of taking over some of the club aspect, because now it's easy to get online, set up a ride. Hey, we're going to meet over here. If you want to ride, meet us over here and let's go. I really love that about social media, and that's I think if clubs don't adopt that, they're going to fail. And when I say adopt it, they need to embrace it and really kind of jump on board with everything. So here's a couple of reasons. So the first reason I think that the clubs are declining are, look, people just don't want to participate. You can say what you want, but some people want to pay their $15, and when they sign up for a ride, they act like they want to be entertained, or there should be something so elaborate set up that everything's taken care of. For $15, that's a great deal. I would like to have that too, but again, I don't think that's realistic. So one of the reasons that I feel clubs are declining is politics, right? And so this includes politics of the society and politics of the club, right? So when you go, look, nobody's going to change their political view over a meeting at a motorcycle gathering. But too many of these that we get to, we start talking about what we could do better, or who could do better, or Republicans or Democrats or liberals or anthills or whatever it is, right? And I just feel that my time is very limited. And so when I go to a motorcycle gathering, I don't want to talk politics. I want to talk motorcycles. That's why I'm there. I want to say hi to my friends. I want to see how their families are doing. And then I want to set up a ride and go someplace. The other part of the politics are in the club itself. And this could be anything from, some members want the club to be laid back. Some members want the club to be very structured. Some members want Joe as president. Some members want Susie as president. It just comes down to, sometimes it comes down to a cat fight or a difference of personalities. And so cliques get together, and next thing you know, you have a club that's divided. I've been in a couple clubs that I really thought at times was going to die, and then they kind of revitalized themselves and came back. I think that's with every club, but I think we can see a few of the red flags that can kind of come out and help us. And one of the things with the red flags about politics in clubs is club burnout. And it's not because of the members burning out, it's because of the few of the executives in the club who do everything, right? So we've all been in clubs where the president keeps everything together, the president does a newsletter, the president's the ride leader, the president does everything in the club. And to be honest with you, I'd get tired of that too. I've been a tourmeister of a club, and it's great to get a group together and you got 6 to 8 people and you're coming up with club rides and you're doing all that sort of thing, but it's work. And I think that, again, we go back to those members who just want to, hey, I paid my dues, entertain me. I don't know if they really realize how much work goes into all of these rides. So club burnout's a huge thing. And then we've seen it where, look, the same people are either the president, treasurer, vice president, because nobody else wants to step up and kind of take over. Sometimes that's great when it happens, but for the most part, it's almost like begging to get people to sign up and to help out the club. Another thing is a philosophy on the club, right? So again, I don't want to go to a club where I feel like I'm being a business meeting, right? I have plenty of business meetings in my day-to-day weekly activity. I don't want to go and have to listen to insurance talks and safety lectures and all this stuff that, look, they're important in the motorcycle industry and they're important to us, but I would like to be able to, if I want to sign up for a safety class, then I'm going to go to a safety class. If I want to sign up for a first aid class, I'm going to go to a first aid class. If I want to do a track day, I'm going to go do a track day, right? And again, that's just me. So some people love that stuff. They love going. They like sitting there going over minutes and talking about the treasury and all that. I just don't have the time for it. My time's limited. I work my butt off, and I try to, when I do have time off and I want to spend it with the motorcycle community, I want to be doing it, talking motorcycles and doing that sort of thing. I do understand that some clubs have to have that, but I would prefer not to have that. Also, when you go on rides, I've been in some clubs that people get offended if you don't ride with the group. To me, that's nuts, right? So look, we're in a motorcycle group, and the motorcycle group's a great social tool, but I don't want to ride down the road in a parade just because I'm with the group. One of the coolest things that in the last couple of clubs I've been in is that, hey, we've got a destination and 5 or 6 people get together and they head to the destination during one route, and another group heads to the destination doing another route, and another group heads to the destination doing another route. We all wind up to the lunch and to dinner and to the hotel, and we can all have that social time, but the way we get there could all be different, right? Some people want to cruise and smell the roses. Some people want to go a little spirited. Some people want to get there as quickly as they can. Some people want to take the long way around. You should be able to pick and choose any of those that you want and not be relegated to having to go in the parade route. Also, I'm not a big fan of having a group leader, somebody in the tail. Hey, it's almost like you got to raise your hand to stop and go to the bathroom. We're all adults. We all should have the route. We all should know where we're going. And with today's technology, it's almost impossible to get lost. So hopefully we can all, I feel we can all get in groups and then arrive and then do the social aspect of a club. To me, that's what a club is. A club is something to get people together that all have the same mindset and they want to go riding, get those people together and then have a destination and let the people get to the group the way they want to or get to the meeting the way they want to and then have another social aspect. So we're getting ready to have the Ozark Great Escape. I'm not, I don't want to ride with 30 people in a row. So we'll have different groups. Everybody will know where we're going to have lunch, where we're going to have dinner, and where the hotel's at. And we'll just go do our rides, and everybody can enjoy their time on the motorcycle, and then we can have our social fun. So, again, I think that that's part of the decline of clubs, because if you notice, most motorcycle riders, or a lot of them, like to ride motorcycles by themselves. So the group thing doesn't really appeal to a lot of people. So when we start mandating that we have 8, 10, 12, 20, look, and I've ridden in some of those groups. If we mandate those type of rides, I think we're alienating ourselves as a group because that's not the way most people ride on a day-to-day basis. I was also looking through here, some clubs hold monthly meetings, which are great. I think having them on during the week is a great part of those meetings, because then you can plan on a ride for Saturday or Sunday. A lot of groups have a breakfast thing on Saturday or Sunday. I would prefer to ride on a Saturday or Sunday, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes the weather won't allow it. Sometimes you don't have time. So it is kind of cool to have a little get-together. But when you're at the get-together, I would challenge you to look around. How many new people are at the get-togethers? How many new riders are at those get-togethers? For the most part, it's the same old guys who are all sitting around telling the same old stories, which is great, but how are we going to make clubs get better and bigger and get the hobby growing and thriving if we're just looking at each other? I don't know about you guys, but I know people don't want to look at a middle-aged, balding, fat white guy every single day, right? So one of the things is we need some diversity in the clubs. We need to have some people who are willing to, look, dual sport riders, cruisers, sport bike guys. We should all be able to mold and get along. We're all on two wheels and be able to enjoy each other's company and benefit from the diversity of the group. And I think sometimes the groups aren't like that. Members must be involved, right? So I'll never understand, again, if you're one of these people, I'm sorry. But if you show up at a club and you pay $15 and you think that the club's job is to entertain you every week, that's just not where I think the club's going to thrive. And if you're that person, you're the reason that club is declining. And so, hate to say it, but sometimes you got to look in the mirror and do that. If you're just taking and not giving back to the club, you're hurting the club a little bit. Thank your club members. Thank the president. Thank the treasurer. Thank all the people that are setting up the rides, the tourmeisters and the ride committees. Those people put in a whole lot of work and get very little, if any, thank you. So just kind of next time you see them, just kind of say thank you. I love motorcycle clubs. I love the MSTA that I'm riding with now. I think the local chapters are doing a pretty good job at getting online and getting regional groups together, and then that's going to only help boost all the other big things. I think Two Wheel Texans, if you still go on that board, there's a forum actually, I don't know, that sounds old school too, but that forum is amazing, and there's some great people on there, and it's growing, and there's some great friendships on there, and it's a great way to to just meet up with the community. I know the BMW clubs in Dallas and the Lone Star Riders in Dallas, they're all doing very, very well because they do have a group of people that really want to be invested in the group, and they really do want to make the club as good as possible. So last thing, I just want to leave you with this. Look, if you like going to your club, if you like having the motorcycle group you're riding with, then if you do a few of these things, it'll help. Attend the meetings, right? If you got a breakfast meeting or a dinner meeting and it's only once a month, try to attend the meetings. That really makes a big thing. Volunteer. Next time you want to go do a ride, jump on the ride committee, help them out. They need help getting hotel rooms or just looking at places to see where to go. Just get involved. Serve as a club officer if you want to. Some people have time to do that. I can't participate as a club officer, excuse me, because I just don't have the time. But I do like being a tour meister where I can help and plan rides, because a lot of that you can do on your own time. And then just do something for your club. Just either it's being a representative or going out and bringing in new members and that sort of thing. So just be part of it, because the clubs, here's what I'm afraid of. 10 years down the road, these motorcycle clubs are going to be a bunch of 65, 75, 85-year-old men with no diversity in the groups. The hobby's going to be dying, and there's not going to be any new people coming in, and the club's just basically going to disappear. What's really kind of funny is the motorcycle hobby, hobby itself. There are certain aspects of it that are growing, right? So if you go look, dual sport crowd is booming. And I mean, when I say dual sport, that includes guys on GSAs and things like that. But I'm talking about the 450s, the 250s, people getting off road and kind of doing that. The cruiser crowd, and I've said it once and I'll say it again, when I'm on the road, cruisers are 80% of what I see on the road. And one of the things is you hear people either say, oh, they're riding a Harley, or oh, they're riding a Japanese bike, or man, I see a bunch of Harleys on the road, and the one thing I will say is those guys are riding. They're out on the road riding. So next time you see one of them and you're having some talking with them, invite them to your club meeting. I think you're going to find out that a lot of people they're just happy to be on two wheels, and they're just happy to be riding. Look, I don't mean to be on a soapbox. This article I read again from David Peterson, it just kind of struck a nerve with me when it came to that, because again, I do think that some clubs are dying. I think that some clubs don't want to adopt social media, which I think will just kill a club if they don't want to participate in that realm. The cool thing about social media is just how easy it is to set up and get everybody connected. I think that's the biggest thing. I know old people have Facebook, like myself. I do Instagram. I do have younger kids, so I kind of keep up with the media. I have Twitter and all that. But Instagram and Facebook and things like that are the way of getting people together for rides and that sort of thing. And then also when you ride, look, you're going to meet people that are out of that you would probably never run into. Some of my best friends that I ride motorcycles with, our paths would have never crossed had it not been for a motorcycle club or being a motorcycle enthusiast. And that is the coolest thing about motorcycle clubs, right? Is you get to meet so many new people, and you get to enjoy the diversity of people and the clubs and different bikes and that sort of thing. So that's what I love about the clubs. Plus you get to go see cool things. You get to do good riding. The social part of it's awesome, right? Nothing to me beats riding with a group of friends and then hanging out and having a couple beers and doing dinner and just laughing and having fun. That's what motorcycling to me is all about. And I think a lot of us believe in that. I've been doing it. My dad got me in motorcycle clubs back in the early 80s. That's what we used to do. We used to ride someplace. BMW Rally in Paonia, when it was brand new, was a big gathering, and everybody just had fun. Go to Flagstaff, Arizona when I was a kid, I was 21. You'd ride and you'd go to these things, and it'd just be, 50 motorcycles just hanging out. You'd never seen these people before, but you just enjoyed your time together. And that's what I think motorcycle clubs do, and they just help promote the hobby, and they boost friendships. I rode with 5 or 6 of the same people for years, and they're some of my lifelong friends, and I cherish that. But I'm also looking forward to the new people I'm meeting, to the new people that I'm going to meet in the future that are going to become lifelong friends. So I just think that motorcycle clubs can really help us with that. So the next time you're at a club meeting, just kind of look around, see what you're doing for the club, and just kind of, man, enjoy the motorcycle club, because it is a very cool thing. We're getting within 33 days of the Great Ozark Escape, so really looking forward to that. As of right now, I am not canceling the event. We have 30 people signed up. It's a small event. Of course, if you feel sick, I would advise that you don't come to the event. But I think in the next 30 days, I think things are going to slow down a little bit. I know I'm still going. I know there's multiple people still going. So that trip is still going to be on. You can cancel up to 48 hours, I think, on the hotel. So if you feel, if you're uncomfortable, then I would advise that you do, cancel. But Jamie and I will be there, and I know that there's multiple people that'll be there. So again, if just think about it, and I'll be sending stuff out to everybody that signed up and kind of gone for that. So look, out of today's video, go enjoy the motorcycle clubs you're with. Get ready for the Ozark Great Escape. And if you do like what you see, make sure you tap on the button below, smash the button, bell, whatever. Sign up for YouTube. We got 120 followers right now. And then I think that's about it. I was hoping to ride today. I think spring is right around the corner, and we're getting ready to ride. So until then, everybody, ride safe. Be nice to each other, stay safe, wash your hands, do all that stuff, and we'll all get through this stuff together. So again, ride safe, everybody, and until next time, talk to y'all later. Bye.